Hello Trad Gang, this is Chuck Hackery, also known as AK Bowbender, and I'm just going to give you a quick little demo on how I use a back quiver. I'm by no means an expert. I've only been shooting a Howard Hill style longbow for about a year now, and I've only had the back quiver since Christmas, so you're just going to have to take what I say with a grain of salt. Maybe you'll come up with a better way of doing things. I kind of base what I do on the John Schultz video, hitting them like Howard Hill. So I hope you'll find this helpful. Okay, the first thing you want to do is get your quiver adjusted. Everybody seems to have their own preference on how to do things. I kind of like to have it so the upper corner of the quiver is even with the top of my shoulder. Some folks like to adjust the strap so the arrows ride a little bit higher, and some even like to have it set up so it's directly behind them because they think they can get through the brush a little bit easier if they do that. I just find it handy to have it here at this point on my shoulder. It makes it a little bit easier for me to retrieve my arrows, and if I'm in the woods I don't have to worry about things when I crawl through the brush. I just rotate the quiver around, get through the brush, and rotate it back into position. So that's just something you're going to have to figure out how you're going to like to position the quiver. Okay, the next thing we'll want to do is set your nocking point so that you nock above the nocking point. This is the way John Schultz did it, and this is the way Howard Hill did it. This allows you to bring the arrow out of the quiver and get it on the string quickly. I guess if you have a real loose nock fit, this isn't going to work very well for you because it may slip up. So I've got mine set up so there's just a little bit of tension on there. Sometimes after it's worn a little bit it'll slide up a little bit, but when I get my finger on there it holds it in place and we're good to go. So that's the next thing you need to do to shoot the way I've been shooting. Okay, the next thing you want to do is if you adjust your quiver like I do, where it's kind of sticking out from the side here, you want to learn how to do the quiver bump. The bump helps you get the arrows up and a little bit closer to your hand so it's easier to retrieve. It's just a matter of taking your elbow and poking the bottom of your quiver, and it lifts it up and rotates it around. Grab your arrow and you're good to go. Not only is the quiver bump useful for getting the arrow out, but if you use the bump, it helps you get the arrow back in. Now, Trad Gang member Mud, he adapts his quiver a little differently. He puts a tab on his strap here, and he can just grab that tab and pull it up, and it accomplishes the same thing. So it's your choice how you'd want to do that. So let's move on. Okay. Now we want to get the arrow on the string. According to John Schultz and Howard Hill, you only handle the arrow by the nock. So I did my bump, I got the nock, and my arrow's in hand. As you're coming down to the string, if you got an index nock, you can go ahead and rotate it and make sure it's on string how you need it. For this particular bow, I need to have the cock feather in, so as I'm coming down, I can rotate the arrow. Now, as we're coming down to the string, you just rest your hand on the string. I think John Schultz says it's trap the string with your hand, and your arrow comes resting on the bow, snaps on the string, and you just slide it down to the nock. When you first start, you'll probably want to keep an eye on it. Just make sure you're doing it right. Pretty soon it just becomes natural. Once it's on the string, your thumb is still on the nock, so you just matter of rotating on that nock. Now your hand is in position to shoot. As simple as that. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Just like that. Trap the string, snap the nock on the string, and slide her down to the nock. Rotate your hand, and you're ready to shoot. Okay. Grand finale. I'm going to shoot a few arrows here, and you can see the little tidbits that I instructed you on. See if it helps you. Okay. That's all there is to it.